Here I am back from the ram sales in France, and I'm doing my first walk around the farm, having been away with the lad looking after the place. And this is where you discover things. And you know, to be honest, he's done great. I've not discovered anything I wouldn't want to see. These tups are still growing on nicely on a bit of rough ground. Those nettles will need looking after and stuff. But you know, the boy's done good. He's given a good account of himself, and as a result we get a day off together today, and we're going to have a bit of fun together, which is our little reward for being back on the job as a team again. This whole thing of being entrusted, and then, you know, obviously the old man's got to have a look around when he comes back and check out what's been happening in his absence. Well, Jesus tells a story about this. He says there was this this guy who owned this place, and he put a few guys on trust. He said, here you go, here's XYZ to deal with, and I'm off for a bit to a far country, and I'll be back, and you'll have to give an account to yourself when I get back. And of course, when he got back, there'd been one guy who had invested and done well. It was great. And there's another guy who, yeah, he did reasonably well with what he was trusted with, and the boss came back. Yeah, okay, well done. You get sort of a middling sort of reward out of that. But there was the last guy, and he said, well, I knew you were a tough man, and I knew things would be, you know, I'd have to be really careful with what you entrusted me with. And so I took it and I buried it in the ground. So here it is, you can have it back. No profit, no gain, no advancement. I'm pleased to say these tups have come on great while I've been away, and the boys put them on a bit of better mix now, and they're doing really well. When I came back, he's going to get a good word of praise in a minute. Now, God's telling this story that he's telling. Jesus is telling this story about God as the guy who's the boss, and he puts people on trust and he goes away. Trusts us with things that we have to use and to enjoy and to be part of making the best of. And it says there in that story that he's coming back. Jesus is coming back, and he's going to ask everybody to give an account of themselves of what they've done with what they've had. Not an account for what they've been entrusted with, because that's not in our own hands, but an account for the way we've used what we've been given. Now there's an interesting thought for today. What have you been entrusted with? Been entrusted with it by God, and what use have you made of that? There's a little slogan you see on the back of Land Rovers going around the place every now and again. It says, one life, live it. I got plans to put on the chaplaincy Land Rover a similar slogan that goes like this: one life, invest it. Invest it. Invest it for eternity, invest it for what comes next, invest it against the day when the steward comes back and says, hey, what have you done with what you were trusted with? And that's the challenge of this little word for today.